Do you like to talk on the telephone? Did you ever wonder who invented it? That person is Alexander Graham Bell. Keep reading to learn more about this great inventor. Alexander was born in Scotland in 1847. His family called him Alec for short. Alec's father was a teacher who helped deaf people learn to speak. He wanted his son to become a scientist. Mrs. Bell liked to listen to Alec play the piano. Alec's mother lost her hearing as she grew older. She used an ear tube to help her hear. Mrs. Bell was an artist and a piano player. Like his mother, Alec learned to play the piano. Alec could feel sound vibrations when his dog barked. Alec became fascinated by sound. He even studied his pet dog's barking. This helped him learn how sounds are made. When he was a teenager, Alec and his brother built a talking machine. It was shaped like a person's head. They could make the machine say simple words like mama. Alec's brother would blow air through a tube. Alec would move the machine's lips to make it speak. When Alexander was older, he got a job at a school in Boston. Like his father, he taught deaf people how to speak. Alexander was a great teacher, but he still wanted to invent things. Alexander showed his students how to make sounds. In Boston, Alexander met a woman named Mabel Hubbard. Mabel was deaf. Later, Mabel and Alexander got married and had children. Alexander stopped teaching so that he could work on his inventions. He wanted to create a machine that could send sounds through a wire. Alexander would work on his inventions until late at night. He hired a man named Thomas Watson to help him. Thomas began working in Alexander's laboratory. Inventing was hard work. Sometimes the two men felt like giving up, but they kept going. On March 10th, 1876, something incredible happened. Alexander was in one room, Thomas was in another room, but they could hear each other's voice through the machine. The invention was working. Alexander said into the machine, "Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you." Alexander called his invention a telephone. He entered it in a contest at the World's Fair in Philadelphia. At the fair, he won a prize for his invention. The Emperor of Brazil was at the World's Fair. He tried Alexander's new telephone. Soon, Alexander was famous. People all over the world wanted to find out about his invention, including the President of the United States and the Queen of England. In 1878, Rutherford B. Hayes became the first United States president to use a phone. Whom did he call? Alexander. In 1892, Alexander made the first call between New York and Chicago. At first, the telephone could be used only between places that were close together. But by 1915, it was possible to make calls all the way across the country. Alexander continued to invent many things, such as new kinds of planes and boats. He also continued to find ways to help deaf people. For example, this plane was one of Alexander's inventions. Alexander worked hard to make people's lives better. People will always think of the telephone as his greatest invention. The next time you call someone, remember Alexander Graham Bell. Here are 5 telephones from different times and Android phone of this year, 2024. 1876 telephone in the picture, 1919, 1928, 1964, 1992, and today, 2024. Hello, and now let's look at the glossary, at the vocabulary, at the words which were used in this text. Deaf, adjective, unable to hear, deaf. Fascinated, fascinated, adjective, very interested. Incredible, incredible, adjective, amazing. Hard to believe. Inventor, inventor, noun, a person who creates new machines or other things. Laboratory, laboratory, noun, a place where a scientist works. Tube, tube, noun, a long object that is empty inside. Vibration, vibration, noun, a fast shaking movement. Wire, wire, noun, a long, thin, bendable piece of metal. Thank you. Bye.